Hey guys, welcome to another session of Loadouts. For this Loadouts, this is for Sieghard. Sieghard's 90 energy mission in his story event. And this trial is a bit longer, it's a bit more grindy. I did explain this on my trial video as well, that on JP I actually couldn't beat this one at the time when I started playing JP. But anyways, this is the team I went with. Those are the Espers, and I'm gonna briefly go into my gear here. So for the first battle, it's Chimera, and Chimera is immune to lightning, ice, and fire damage. And so ideally, you want your chainers to be non-elemental. I've heard people use 2B fixed dice. It works wonders. But Chimera's problem is not that he has a lot of HP. It's just that actually you have to get the LB and yeah, get the LB. And pretty much all you have to do is survive his onslaught, but do non-elemental damage. He's really squishy though, so make sure if you want to go all missions, make sure you get all the missions out of the way before you actually really attack him. This is my E2 here, Beast Lord, because it gives her innate, I think it's 150% double hand. Heals close for that extra 30% large sword attack. And Precious Hairpin, Martial Glove, Dash Earring, because that was all I needed for her, I think. I might be missing 50% double hand. Actually, now I do the calculations. But either way, Buster Style, Large Sword Mastery, Gentle Trader, and Adventure 5. There's a double check if I am missing a double hand here. Double check. Let's try giving her double hand regular. No, I don't. She was capped. Alright, so anyways, let's put that back. Next, on Fina, of course, I'm doing my regular cheat here. If you guys are lucky enough to pull Seabreeze Dark Fina, you get 4 over. Don't be salty. She's pretty good Tornado Chainer, good Flood Chainer, or Flood Chainer rather. But her STMR is great. All right, it's so handy. It even put Chimera to sleep, so that at least taught me that Chimera can fall asleep. But of course the Rainbow Whip, because it has all the elemental damage you need in one go. So basically for all my elemental missions, I always bring a whip user and I just slap this on. It's so much easier. Everything else is not that special. Robe of Forgiveness, I just recently got this. It's pretty much Sarah's robe, but with a 10% HP. Jake's Power Ring for more HP, and Cloak of Flames with 30% spirit. Dual wielding, so I can get that Holy Wand in there with my 32% spirit passive from Item World. Hairpin of Purity, of course. Thirst for Survival, Patriotic Recall, and then Protector of Lapis. Protector of Lapis for the spirit and HP combo. In retrospect, I think I should have geared her up for more LB, I think. Some LB fill. So maybe something like less HP, so maybe like swap out Protector of Lapis for a Citrus TMR. That would have given her 50% more LB with a 60% spirit. I think that would have been a bit better for what I needed, but we didn't really need her LB that much. It was just I wasn't used to her not being able to fill her LB that quick. This is my Dracu Laswell, Zanset Zukin. This is a PG Laswell's STMR, has a LB fill rate and it boosts Esper parameter missions, but Esper parameters by 10%, so you get some extra stats there. Obviously, this is not ran into Item World, so I think currently if I used Sephiroth's TMR Mazamune, let me see. I think I get a bit more power. Let me just double check here. Oh, actually no, I don't. Surprisingly, I don't. Mazamune has about a 20% attack passive on it, so I thought it would actually beat it. But I guess when you go in true double hand, the total base attack is still better. Yeah, it's way better. Black Cowl, because I didn't get another Precious Hairpin. Technically, I could, but I'm still waiting for another Eileen, for an Eileen STMR there. Of course, Vampire Cloak with him. He has this TMR passives. And then his Gothic Amulet, Dash Earring, Buster Style Swift Hunter, he caps his TDH with Katana Mastery and Adventure 5. Ramza was really good. I ended up using an Evade Ramza, and as I've used him for Leviathan, same thing here. I mean, he could get a really good elemental resistance, which I think it was needed for Phase 3 and also for Chimera too, I think. But Judge Helm Rainbow Robe, because he can wear robes, is fantastic. Zodiac SQ-chan for that 50% more lightning resist, plus has that 10% evasion, so perfect. Protect Grappler G3, could have gone with Ray of the Lucia, but actually, yeah, I've recently just liked using Protect Grappler for some reason. Obviously, you don't need to. I think Ray of the Lucia would have been better, but you just counter with Holy sometimes. And you have the option of using getting MP back every time you cast Holy. Nyx's Dagger, always my trusty one, of course, with Nyx's Kukri here, with that skill that boosts all elemental resistance by 20%. That's why, like, really easily, even as an evade unit, he has like full status ailment protect, and then all those elemental protection. 2 quick assaults, True Spirit of Freedom and Spirit of Freedom. This gives him 105% evasion because of 15% from the True Spirit of Freedom. Ooh, I just realized my Rem wasn't even fully geared. Could have made it a bit better. Just fill this with something, with anything. All right. Or maybe I took. Oh, I see. I think I took Citra's. Yeah. That's right. I think that's what happened. I took Citra's TMR from her, which actually was more needed on Rem, arguably. Then that means, yeah, I wouldn't have put it on Fina. I built her for LB fill pretty much. Facade of Balance. We have a Fervor. For the LB fill rate, we have a Bling Necklace for Passionate with a 25% LB fill rate, which is really good. And then of course Moonmaker, every time she's re-raised or on the first turn for 3 turns, she gets a 200% LB fill rate buff. Hero's Vow Light, another 50% LB fill rate, and then Mog Wisdom, 50% LB fill rate, and Ignorance, of course, 2 LB gauge per turn. So it was really needed because she was my MP battery for the most part. For the battles itself, they weren't too hard, like I said. I think so Piersv on stream was telling me that for the Metal Cactuar, for the second one, Gigantor, you're not supposed to use abilities. So don't use abilities, but you could use magic apparently. So if you don't use abilities, he won't do his like crazy fixed damage rampage. But if you did it the way I did it, and if you watch the trial video, you'll know exactly what I'm talking about. I basically just provoked it away, kept re-raise on my provoker, and it was kind of fine. Again, the only problem is that you have to evoke an Esper in that mission, which I would definitely recommend if you could get the Esper in the first one, in the Chimera battle, in the bonus stage 1. You would do that. It would save you a lot of headache for Metal Gigantor, because again, he is I think he has really high spirit. I remember doing magic and it really didn't do much, but you do have to kill him with magic. I ended up using Rem's a Tornado because it was a longer animation, so I made sure that my LBs were done. You needed 2 LBs, evoke an Esper, and then kill with magic. My 2 LBs from my Laswell and my A2, they did a lot more damage, and compared to the Tornado, I think only did like 40 something per hit. It was really low. It surprised me. It kind of scared me that I couldn't get the magic damage mission. But the LBs finished them off, so the magic kill magic mission still went through. And the very last one, the gigantic rat, that one was a headache. So in JP, before I had an evasion tank, I couldn't take him on because as he summons more rats, they do more damage, and if I remember correctly, if you kill the rats, he actually becomes enraged. I remember that's how it was, so you have to try to take him down, but he also has a ton of HP and defense. He was really beefy. I mean, I had, for majority of the part, had a buffed A2, buffed Draco Laswell, and even at 2300 attack, it wasn't even that bad. But after they self-buffed, they were about like 3000 attack, something like that. Consistently, even with a defense break, I only did like maybe 20% per full chain, and he had to spark chain it too. So arguably that would be the longest grinding one. Now I did again hear that people use 2B with fixed dice. It really just like crushed him, so maybe something to consider. Obviously I didn't have the patience to actually look for 2B friend with fixed dice. It's very niche. Not all my friends are using 2Bs, not all my friends have 2Bs, not all of them have fixed dice, and even if they had fixed dice, not all of them had the proper killers, etc. Oh yeah, and of course, yeah, the last guy is a beast, so make sure you have a beast killer on one of your damage dealers, so therefore my A2 has it. Anyways, that's pretty much it for the loadouts. I went with JC's Ace, and Ace was really good because of damage mitigation, mana recovery, top hand has heal and mana recovery, and he could sacrifice himself for the Esper when we needed a quick Esper fill, but we didn't really need it. I brought in Laswell here, so Laswell, you get a shout out, bro. So he's at FanFesta, obviously. He got his Aurora Fravia already. Not geared yet, so not impressed, bro. But still really cool. So Aurora Fravia is apparently pretty cool. Can't wait to see what other people do with her. But anyways, that's it for the loadouts video there. So again, make sure you check out the trial video to see my tactic. If you want to go with breakers, my experience is that I think only the break on the last battle, so with the gigantic rat, actually matters. The attack and magic rate is very, very life-saving. Make sure you keep that up at all times. I was just really fortunate that I forgot one of A2's AT chaining skill does have a 50% attack and magic break, so that like saved us. So every time she chained, she would break. I never had to really think about it, so therefore I didn't really need to break her. And Chimera could be defense and spirit broken, but he's so squishy anyway, you won't need it. You won't need that at all. So I would definitely recommend not bringing like someone like Lauren. I don't think that's really necessary unless you have a hard time surviving the gigantic rat at the very end. Otherwise, that is my my tips, and that's my loadouts for this one. So if you guys have Discord, check out the Discord server, follow me on Twitter, and subscribe to YouTube if you haven't. As always, thank you guys for watching, and I will see you next time.